Yep. We're on.
Hello.
Great. We'll start.
Alright. Hey guys, welcome to the Fried Man's podcast. Meet
Shreyas.
Kirti.
Hi, Kirti. We're kind of gonna get back at what we did in the first new podcast, let's say, first of the Fright Mind podcast, that generation gap and what role it actually plays in our lives. Yes, more than a role, what it is and the shit it does to you.
So, the first thing that we had to talk about, why do we feel that we need to talk about this?
Louder. You need to be louder.
I need to be louder.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Okay, so yeah, the first thing, like, why we came up with this and why we thought this is an important topic is because of two stories that I recently witnessed. One was with a friend of mine who was sharing her life with her parents, and she was just because her mom was pestering her about moving to another city, and she was like, some things have happened 3 years ago, and that's the reason why I don't want to go there. And then she told her mom that she went into depression. She just dipped into it, but got out of it very, very soon because she was studying psychology. So she understood why, what the symptoms are. Then her mom was like, कि, ऐसा तुम लोग को नहीं होता है.
Oh yes,
It doesn't happen to you in this age. And that was something that annoyed me. Like, how the fuck can you tell someone how to feel? And the second thing, something I've forgotten, but we'll continue and I'll remember one.
Okay. For someone telling you that you don't have depression or telling you how to feel is because they don't actually know of what it means. Our previous generation, our parents don't know of what depression and mental illnesses are. They know physical illnesses, bukhar hua, ye hua, dawai lo, and it is cured. But for mental illnesses, they are unaware of how to pursue it and how to cure that thing or whether it actually exists in their mind. So it is very difficult for them to understand and for us to make them understand of what actually is the problem, because we are at that stage that even we don't know where we are in that zone or whatever the problem is, where we are and how to communicate with not just parents but our friends as well.
He had, like, I told the story to you, then I told the story to Brock, and then Brock was like,
It is not necessarily.
he brought up a point that why is it that parents don't understand, and he built it like continue.
What happens is it's not necessarily that they won't be aware of such problems. It is that they haven't faced it themselves. So first things first. Like if you haven't faced depression, it is hard in the first spot to gauge what someone else is feeling. Second is our parents belong to a generation where there was a definite lack of competition. Okay, you wanted to do something, you would probably get through in the first or second try, and there's hardly, and the losers of that batch would go to the third try. Putting it very blunt, and that is why it is difficult to explain to someone that we have a fear of failure, because that generation didn't have to fail that much. Yeah, the generation which started off after independence had to fail enough times to realize that नहीं कि मेहनत करना पड़ता है, then you get somewhere. The generation after that, that is our parents' generation, I think, I'm not really sure about this, but I think didn't have to face the kind of competition we do. And that is one important factor too, that they do not simply understand depression. They have had midlife crisis.
Yeah.
They have not even given a thought to what quarter life crisis might be.
Because they didn't have those crises when they were young.
Finding a job was not a difficult thing. Yeah, everyone everyone said it's a difficult thing, but once you tried, you found one job. You go out today, you're probably going to go through about 10, 15 interviews before you land one.
Yeah, 10, 15 is a very small amount.
It's a small amount.
It's
but
more than that. It's more than that.
if you're on somewhere in the like you're above average.
Hmm.
When you're above average, you're going to do 10 or 15. When you're average, bad scenario.
You basically fucked out toilet paper.
Yeah. So
That's
that's what happens. Like, yeah, depression shouldn't be happening to 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
That is a perspective I'm willing to agree on. It shouldn't be happening, but it happen.
doesn't happen at all is something
Huh.
that her mom said.
Yes.
And she also said, like, just stretching the topic out, she also said that ये क्या splitsville है क्या? Is this a fucking MTV show that you're
Oh,
watching?
yes. Television
And then that
drama,
brings up
the kind of shit I see on television nowadays, bro. I really don't know who hired journalists, who hired scriptwriters and story writers. What the fuck they were hired?
We want that shit.
I know, I don't want that shit, you know. No matter how I want to get.
any drug dealers watching, Kirti Hinduja, right here. But
I don't want that shit because I don't want that high.
yeah.
To create something this huge shit.
Yeah, but that's the
but-
thing that's interlinked and that's so interlaced that the elder generations watch the obsolete forms of media, which is, I won't call it obsolete. I'll call it old school media, which is basically television, newspaper, and stuff like that. And that is so vague, and that is so it's absolutely not defined.
See,
And that comes from a very blurred perspective of what the social media is today. And that perspective comprises of old school media, and parents consume that. And that's why their perception about how social media is so fucked up because of all the layers that they don't understand the whole form of social interaction in the first place, or how social interaction actually happens, because we don't go out to clubs and meet new people anymore. We have websites, like we go to places, we go to camps, we do meet people, but we have websites. I have so many internet friends that I've like not met. Like in the previous podcast, you said that you have so many friends from Delhi you have not met, but they're very close, and that's something that parents don't understand. The entire paradigm of social interaction these days.
it's not just social interaction. Okay, so television. I guess newspapers. I will still call newspapers legit to an extent because I read them
No,
fairly good.
No, technically they are called old school. Like when I was studying
old school,
media,
old
they
school.
were-
even though it's old school, you might be reading economic times and financial sector things,
no.
or maybe
I
something
read
like that.
all of the papers.
But if you go towards the Hindi and the Marathi newspapers, first, second, third page के बाद वो इतना bullshit news, इतने bullshit articles रहते हैं ना.
3 पेज के बाद
but
bullshit
to be
आते हैं।
very honest, technically उसको old school बोलते हैं because of the pace of the world as well.
हाँ,
Like 30 मिनट पहले कुछ इवेंट हो ना, वो न्यूज पे अभी आ जाता है, ट्विटर पे।
Whatever it may
मैं कल
be.
का इवेंट्स क्यों पढूं? That's the mentality of
getting
the
us
not
not
about
about forget that. Back to the point
Yeah.
that generations, why parents act the way they do sometimes, and what happens is I went through this. Like when Facebook came out, 2009,
Mhm.
I was already on the network called Orkut, good old days, and I signed up for Facebook. Now someone told mom that he's on Facebook. Mom freaked out because she thought only bad people go there. Exactly. तो मेरा बच्चे को कोई तो 10 दिन में उठा के लेके जाता है. That was the instant outlook. Now I was.
कोई नहीं लेके जा सकता इसको.
They'd probably drop me back.
Fat shaming starting from the second point.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
As we had promised.
yeah.
Go.
I'm cool with fat shaming, so don't give him shit. He's a good friend.
We have to be cool with it because he's cool with it. So moving on.
So that is how it started. I was a 17-year-old whose mother was scared of him being kidnapped. Okay, it's a legitimate fear if I lived in those kind of areas or that kind of city or that kind of country, but I don't think like people still kidnap 17-year-olds. They look for younger people. I do not know for sure.
I gonna crack a very offensive joke.
Let's not. So,
Yeah.
but that is where it started off. Then slowly it sunk in. It's just a network of people. Like it's all more like having a pen pal than having extreme connection with someone.
I remember having pen pals in school where we used to write on postcards and send.
Yeah, we used to have projects for pen
Yeah,
pals.
exactly.
I don't know.
So I think we were introduced to the whole system of distant networking
Yes.
at a very young age. But I don't know, if our parents at all did this, because I see my mom's friends and I see my dad's friends, and majority of them are like, I think the entirety of them are either school friends, college friends,
Yeah,
or either work colleagues.
They've been connected before, like they've been physically connected.
Physically connected. That's it. They've seen
Because
each
again,
other's
there
faces,
is
they've
no
hung out.
availability of such a network.
Hmm.
So again, that is one part why it is hard for them to accept that you can have friends
Yeah.
other than physical friends. That people can contract depression at young ages. That is again one part. So
That's the
you
thing
can't
that-
blame them completely, but yes, you can at some point go down to them, talk to them, and make them see how the world functions today.
Yeah, because
That
there's
is possible
a
to
difference in social interaction today.
No.
Like how our parents interact with each
Either
other. And how,
either you go with the solution that he has of you talk with the parents and tell them of what actually is the situation, and if they understand, then well and good. Otherwise, you have to keep a white lie about it, because you don't want your parents to worry about something which is not existing, or it's just in their mind, because they are just worrying because of the whatever they have seen on television and something other. So this is what I think of. A white lie can be a good option instead of telling the truth, because
That's
they might just worry a lot about it.
yeah, I know, because that's something that my friend opted for. When after this whole scenario that happened at her place, she opted to not talk about it for a day, and then the entire family was like, just okay, we'll pretend this did not
This
happen.
never happened basically.
So
yeah, keeping your parents on a need to know basis, and they do not need to
yeah,
know.
but
is
that
also
also
an
that concerns me to a level that, like, how far
But
can
then
it go?
it
How far can
affects
this
the
ignorance go?
functioning of a family.
Yeah.
I know, but for every little thing of you being on Facebook, if you have to explain to your mother for like 3 hours, 4 hours of what actually it is, and you have to show it to her, and afterwards you're browsing Facebook and she happens to pop by and see something that she gets offended, but you are okay with it, then फिर उसके ऊपर वापस ही you have to. So it
See,
becomes
it
a very.
becomes a repetitive cycle, but I have to explain her everything once. Okay, and then see, every time it's not gonna be like a very happy walk through the woods. I have to go through the process over and over again until she understands most of the things out there. Okay? But if everything comes crashing down one fine day, and she pops up my Facebook, I left it on my PC or my phone's unlocked. She goes and checks my messages. I'm talking to hell loads of people she doesn't know anything about. Okay, and if she gets to know that suddenly, all of a sudden, that causes problems because you're 2 years into conversing with somebody.
Exactly, because that's how long we've known our internet friends and not seen them.
2 years into conversing with somebody you have not told a word about at home. कि हाँ मैं किसी को मिलने जा रहा हूँ कहना अलग है, मैं किसी से फेसबुक चैट करने जा रहा हूँ तो कितनी बार बोला है? Okay, so
that's the same point that this is the same discussion I had with my mama, because she was like, we were talking about generation gaps and we were talking about how different it is and how everything is very very authentic and personal and individual in its own way, that both the generations have something very different and still very authentic, and the only way to learn for both the generations is to actually be honest with each other. So like I have explained mama what marijuana is, when that had to be done once. I explained what dead baby jokes is, or like what dark humor is, but that had to be done once. But we came to a conclusion that okay, she's not comfortable with it, I am, then we don't bring it up again. It's not lying, like it's not okay, we ignore this thing that this doesn't exist. It's we clear it out. Okay, मेरे को चलता है, तेरे को नहीं चलता है. We won't talk about. I won't do this in front of you. That's out of respect. because she's my mama. So I'll respect her opinion as well. So I won't crack dark jokes in front of her.
You will try not to crack.
I try really hard not to. Sometimes turn out to be grey, but okay. Yeah. And
Lot
this
of
is
grey.
this is the time where I and this exactly brings us to the point we have about patience and time. Like how how those generations treat time with patience, and
And
how
this
for
is
us
where-
patience and time is very different.
Where I'd like to pick up what he said, that you can keep on going with a white lie, but it'll end up making you look impatient about stuff. Because why? Because then at some point you'll have so many things going on through social media that it will be hard to explain to your parents why do you spend so much time on social media, and then you will lose patience. Then you will be getting those tantrums कि mom छोड़ दो ना यार मैं कर रहा हूँ ना यहीं पे हूँ I'm not going anywhere, that kind of stuff start happening.
It's basically मैं कितना explain करूँ?
हाँ, okay, because by that time you're not just talking to people on social media, you're buying stuff off it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're interacting with hordes of people, hopefully.
For our parents, this is something I've seen like this is one thing I bring up with taxi drivers in Bombay. Like whenever I'm taking a cab, I usually take Ubers, but like if I at all have to take a Kalibiri taxi, and majority of the drivers are like really old, like 50s, fucking 60s or something like that. They're extremely patient. Like they're like, okay, there's 5 meters free space. ठीक है, मैं धीरे-धीरे जाएगा. I'm like, go na. If someone comes in, you miss that space. But he's like, कुछ नहीं जाएंगे हम वैसे टाइम पे जाएंगे. And then I used to get like really pissed. I was like, I'm never taking these cabs again. I'm always taking an Uber. And then I met really old Uber people. There's no escape. But yeah, patience with these guys is different than what we perceive it to be. Because for us, patience is more about being calm than rather just, taking your time.
Yeah.
For me,
Oh,
patience
we-
is like, dude, be patient. I'm like, "Oof, okay.
Calm
So
down.
basically, this is a counter of not being patient, which is being aggressive. And I realize that if I'm always being aggressive, that's not good for me. And if I have to tell myself that, dude, be patient, then I calm down. Then I'm fucking angry all the time, and that
I
doesn't
can
make sense.
say something about patience because I've taught some students, friends, and X amount of people. I've taught accountancy, finance.
You've taught music as well to people.
And that is one profession where I had newfound respect for my teachers. Like student asked fuck all questions. Dumb shit. Exactly. That's what I wanted to do the first time. Dumb shit. How don't you understand this? मेरे को अगर FY का बच्चा आके पूछता है कि 7/2 कैसे करने का मेरे को नहीं आता है. I'm like, yeah, bro, we learned this in 5th.
You flaccid peanut. But yeah.
But fine, you have to explain it to them, and you have to go with it because otherwise there is no point. He's not gonna worry about it. Okay, so he's gonna go home and think that he's not worthy of learning anything, or he's gonna go home thinking you're a bad teacher. But there's nothing good coming out of it. So being patient is a combination of giving things time, doing those things again and again, and being calm while doing all of this.
I have only one story to share. I came across one guy. He's around 60 years old. I guess I met him when I was doing my MBA. He came to our college to give some seminar, and we were talking about. And some guy just took out his phone and he was chatting. नीचे रख के phone chat कर रहा था. उसने पकड़ा कि क्या हुआ? Whom are you chatting with? Is it urgent? तो नहीं सर मैं गर्लफ्रेंड से बात कर रहा हूँ. 2 घंटा रुक नहीं सकता है. नहीं सर वो रिप्लाई नहीं किया तो वो नाराज हो जाती है. मतलब तुम वो सर वाज लाइक तुम जनरेशन को है ना पेशेंस या वो सब का समझ ही नहीं है. And he literally just stopped what he was teaching and what he was saying. And उसने अपना किस्सा बताया कि he's told us कि when I was young and जब मेरा शादी फिक्स हुआ था तो this girl was living in Kolkata and I was in Mumbai. एंड तब अगर उससे कुछ बात करनी है तो हमारे पास फोन वगैरह कुछ नहीं था. आई यूज्ड टू राइट अ 2 page लेटर. मैं उसको पोस्ट करता था.
जो ऐसा two-step verification process होता है.
It used to take 7 days for 5 days for it to reach her. 1 day to read, 1 day to write it out, and वापस से यहाँ तक. So it used to take a fortnight just for one communication.
Yeah.
So he was like कि I used to just wait कि यार अब 15 दिन कब होंगे तो उसका reply आएगा. Then I'll read it, then I'll cherish it, then I'll again reply, and then we'll communicate. So that was when I heard it, I was like, whoa. मैं यहाँ पे 15 मिनट दोस्त को लेट रिप्लाई करता हूँ तो वो लोग फोन करके मुझे गालियाँ देते हैं. And
But
so no, we are so.
It's a complete different situation. See, you can't.
But I listen to these stories now. I feel like, is it that
You
these
are-
guys had a lot of things to do as well? Because letter लिख के they are not sitting there for 5 days. क्या आएगा? They're not doing that. They've given the letter. They're doing their own things. But now here, like I see my friends, my peers, they're getting stuck. Oh fuck, message नहीं आया, मैं रुका हूँ.
I'll
Not
tell
doing
you.
anything.
I'll tell you. This guy probably was done with his education at age 21. Okay, he got a job at age 21 and a half. Not even 21 and a half. Probably right after
You
he
said
graduated.
60s, no? Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably right after he graduated, he's gotten a job. So he's got shit to do all day. He's not got time for a girlfriend. Even if he does, she's probably equally busy.
That is not the point, no?
I know
See,
that's not the point. But what happens is the way relationships work changed.
What?
The way relationships worked and the way they work now, that's changed. If there is technology available which actually makes it possible to reply to someone in 10 seconds, has to be done. Because whenever this guy, she would get his letter, she would be writing one immediately after reading it for maybe 10-20 minutes, which was an allowable time frame considering that he sent it 7 days back. And she would probably post it by that night itself so that in 14 days he'd get a bloody reply. Now it's come down to 14 seconds. That's how technology is evolved. We are not writing 2-page essays anymore.
No, it's not about
Tell that to my school.
No, we have gotten used to that 10-second reply so much कि 5 मीटर का अगर कोई slow चला जाए तो we get agitated. चल.
That is the pace.
That is the pace of life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it lack of patience.
Yeah.
Lack of patience is actually a bigger thing. It is not with these smaller things. Patience is when you have failed and you want to get up again and try again. That takes patience. That is, I guess, where the
Because
integrity
patience and
comes into
perseverance
play.
go together. Like those two words are used together very, very often. Perseverance is, you know what it means, and then why is patient clubbed with it?
Being patient is generally associated with when you give the exams and when the duration while you're waiting for the results. It can be equated to sending a text and waiting for a reply, but it is not the same thing. So when someone older to me says that I lack the patience, I would gladly say, yes, I lack the patience. And I'm not in a situation to deal with it. You will have to. Because if I don't have the patience, you should have the patience to know how to deal with it.
Yeah, because someone needs to have patience.
Someone needs to have patience.
I think
Okay,
the lack
for me, what you said of waiting it out, for me, patience has a bit of a different meaning because I'm into my own business and the family business. So when I entered after my college, all studies got over, I entered and I used to respond just like that of whatever came in front of me, and I used to give my response to it. Let it be very emotional, let it be very loud, or anything of that sort. And my dad used to always tell me, be patient about it. Be patient. Don't reply, don't respond right away. I used to just do that because वो मेरे सामने कुछ आया and I have to respond to it. वो एक अंदर से urge रहता था कि no, I have to respond to it. But after a point of time, my dad stopped. Like, तेरे को जो करना है कर ले. When when some time passed away, around 6 months, 8 months passed away, then I started feeling very exhausted because of it. Because I was just responding, I was just doing that again and again and again and again. So after that, I learned that, if something is coming in front of me, let it be a message, let it be anything. Instead of going and replying and being the first one to reply to it, or being the fastest one to reply to it, I wait, I see of what is going on, what it actually means, whether it is affecting me or not, and other different factors I first analyze, and after that I respond. I'm still learning and I'm still trying to control my responses at that
That
point.
that is
This
taking
thing-
your time.
No. Taking your time is the other. I think the elder generations
Because they
just
have
have to
more
be. No, why elder generations have been thinking that our pace is to be mistaken with impulsiveness.
Yeah.
And I do this thing where you said that you reply instantly, but that's how my thing is. I think fast and I have to do that because if I'm on a documentary shoot, I have to be like, oh shit, ये decision लेना है, ये नहीं लेना है, okay fuck it. So I have to be that fast, and that has gone into me as a person. And now if someone texts me, I can reply within 5 seconds, making a decision in my head, and then I can go ahead and say, नहीं ये नहीं वो है. But for if I am composed about it, I don't think people will take it as impulsiveness. They'll just say, yeah, it is a fast decision maker. But if I was like, when I was 15, 16, I was impulsive according to my parents. They were like, ये कितना घाई करता है, क्या है? It's like, it's घाई नहीं, मैं सोच रहा हूँ. It's just that I have fucking hormones running in my body which don't let me to be calm and composed. And then they use the word patience instead of be calm and take your time. And they said, be patient. But I think they should not have used that because now in my head, being patient is something that my parents nag me about. Like,
Being
okay, be
patient in most of our heads is, I guess, going slow.
Yeah, going slow.
Hmm.
And that's why we hate it because our lives are so fast.
It's fast. I
Because
gotta
of the
go
technology.
fast. If I
Yeah.
don't go fast,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere because others run faster than us if I go slow. And no matter how far I get, they're still ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's what happens, and that is something I guess our next generation has to understand, and we have to take the efforts to explain it to them. They won't understand by themselves.
That's
But,
like
yeah.
correcting the
But
mistakes.
I would I don't know whether it's a counterpoint to what you said of that there are people in my line who are running faster than me, but your circumstances are different. Their circumstances are different. Okay, studies, I can understand that you have to be the top of the
Exclusively
class.
talking about academics.
Okay, you're just talking about academics.
Because-
I'm going a step ahead of your point of talking about life. That like what I get, what advice I get from my elders in my business of कि यार तू सामने वाला क्या कर रहा है तू वो छोड़. What is your circumstance? Where are you standing? And you decide according to that. If you find, I don't have any problem with you taking fast decisions. Just make sure that those decisions don't go wrong. The only thing that I ask from you is कि तू वो चीजें सीधी रख, बाद में तू फटाफट decision ले. You are patient, you are restless, whatever it is. You make sure that you don't go with the flow of what others are doing and whether you are lacking behind or not. वो सामने वाले के साथ कंपेयर करके तुम उसके साथ भागोगे तो तुम्हारे हाथ की चीजें छूट जाएगी. I'm excluding
It's not a
academics.
problem. It's
I'm
not a
excluding academics, and I'm just talking about life because we are so used to comparing each other and other things that we are like यार छोड़ बाद में देखते हैं. First complete and फिर उसमें कुछ ना कुछ छूट ही जाता है.
And that, I guess, is supposed to happen in the long run. That you are supposed to leave stuff behind. I guess this was an Interstellar.
I don't remember the movie.
I haven't seen it.
I don't want to give the reasons why I don't remember it. So now, sorry, his story that he brought about his professor brings us to our next topic about love and relationships and how parents deal with them and how every generation deals with relationships.
Now, I have a clear-cut thing over here.
So can you just tell me? minutes. We have time.
Nope. We are done. I'm not shutting this off.
Don't shut up. Oh fuck, we hit a great mark of 29 minutes, 47 seconds.
Chi-chi.
Start. Yep. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, relationships. Yeah. What I think is understanding a modern relationship is again one of those things our parents probably didn't experience. If they did, they would understand what's going on.
But then, what's your definition of modern relationship?
A modern relationship, not a modern relationship, just a relationship.
Huh.
Premarital relationship.
Okay.
That
I
makes
personally
more
think
sense.
they're still modern because they've. How often did you see? We did not. Yeah, there was no premarital crap back in the day.
So that's what everything was post-marital, and yeah. So it is. I don't expect them to understand. I just expect them to let it go.
Yeah. So one thing, you have to let it go. And you have to let it go. And you have to let it go. That's the scenario that we have to expect.
Beta, we are letting you go. निकल घर से बाहर निकल.
I mean, having a relationship is more of peer pressure nowadays. I honestly believe that. Look at the
No.
people around. Look at the people. Look at Lokesh.
Sorry, Lokesh.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. Most of them. It has become a social message. It has become a social symbol more than anything else.
Shit, I'm trying to remember if I have any. No, there was no such thing in my life. Relationship and peer pressure was.
No, not that's what I said. Not everyone.
No, I don't think so.
Not every people. No. It's like with my closest friends also. She went through this patch of 3-year long relationship where वो boyfriend के दोस्त उसको जबरदस्ती they were not letting them break up. So I can like acknowledge this exists, but I don't know what it is. I don't understand how.
That is a very different thing.
No, but I think that's what he's exactly.
No,
That's
but
what
peer
I'm
pressure of
Peer तुम्हारे
अच्छा
आसपास
एक मिनट
वाला
like तेरी गर्लफ्रेंड होनी चाहिए वाला peer pressure. अच्छा हाँ.
that also.
That also, yeah, because what I thought was the breaking up thing. Like if you're in a relationship, staying in a relationship,
Staying in
वाला
a
peer
relationship
pressure.
has peer pressure.
And getting into
has
one
peer
has yeah,
pressure.
okay.
Sometimes getting out also has peer pressure,
Yes.
but that is different.
Yes.
But parents perceive it in a wide range of emotions. They do not perceive it as a something that is necessary for social interaction or that is necessary for a human.
and
Another reason for this is our parents most of our parents were probably married by 23, 25.
yeah.
I haven't completed my education yet.
Okay.
I'm nowhere near getting married. You have completed your education, you're on with your business, your parents are probably looking for stuff.
Yeah.
But then again, he's 26.
I'm also 26.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're still above the 20 to 23 wala bracket.
Huh.
Like they were not.
There's a TV series, I guess UTV बिंदास का आता है. गर्लफ्रेंड
अच्छा,
बॉयफ्रेंड के ऊपर ही आता है. तो ये करते हैं वो क्या बोलते हैं स्टिंग ऑपरेशन टाइप कि whether your guy or girl is cheating on you वाला सीन कुछ तो आता है.
Inspiring.
Yeah. I better not see your video something like that.
Inspiring.
So I fucking blame these kinds of TV series because my mom, after her house chores and everything are done, she's just browsing on TV कि यार हाँ चल साउथ का मूवी नहीं देखना है, सूर्यवंशम नहीं देखना है, तो let's browse
More
another
power to you.
channel. So once her work is done, she's just browsing TV and जो अच्छा लगा ऐसे देखते हैं. So she stumbled upon to that TV series. She was like,
Dare to date? नहीं, that's a
नहीं,
different thing.
वो है.
What the fuck is this? क्या है?
Dare to date is something awesome, bro.
क्या है? I'm never.
Please don't watch, please.
I've never been
He was
into
being
this
sarcastic.
territory. But okay, yeah.
So उन्होंने उसके 2 एपिसोड देखे and afterwards she pulled me and she's like, तुम लोग ऐसा करते हो? नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं. This is not dating. This is just TRP bullshit. Don't watch this thing. So television and these things are also affecting our parents' perception towards relationship because splits villa bolo, roadies bolo. वो- भले we are not free enough to watch those things, but कोई ना कोई तो देखता है. परसेप्शन खराब तो होता है ना उसके वजह से कि रिलेशनशिप क्या है क्या नहीं है.
मेरा तो मतलब
टीवी अगेन ओल्ड स्कूल
टीवी हो गया,
ओल्ड स्कूल मीडिया ना so
even
उसकी
if-
वजह से
even if it
WhatsApp
is-
forwards हो गया, cops beating up couples हो गया. That should be a TV series.
that should be a Cops season 2
आथू लाल लकड़ी.
आथू नहीं, वैलेंटाइंस डे पे क्या कर रहे हैं लोग? माला पहना रहे हैं एक दूसरे का. Fuck bro. ठीक है.
Yeah, WhatsApp forwards are.
I don't understand. ये लोग इतना कर सकते हैं तो वैलेंटाइंस डे को ऐसा 2 लौंडा लोग घूम रहे हैं, उनको भी माला पहना दो. एटलीस्ट 377 निकल जाएगा.
yeah
Be supportive of the good stuff if you want to be.
I mean it's great for LGBT वाले लोग. अरे मैं दोस्त के साथ आया but we had discussed something yesterday, like when we were writing down this question about relationships. You said that तेरे घर पे relationship का is very different. Your parents are like, हाँ, you bring any.
They are very fine.
Yeah.
They are very okay with me bringing a girl at
Yeah.
my place, telling them कि this is the one I like and
I'm going
I
to
want to get married to her. They won't ask me or they won't get offended if she is not from my caste.
There won't be any objection. There will be
Yeah.
questioning, but not objection. Like,
True.
They'll ask
true.
her.
Because what they have seen in the community, in their relations and the relatives, so they have gotten used to those things कि हाँ चल ठीक है, whatever it is, because उन लोगों ने जो चीजें देखी है कि आफ्टर लव मैरिज 2 साल के अंदर डिवोर्स हो जाना या फिजिकल अब्यूज, डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज, इन लॉज का इश्यूज एंड वो, सो उसके बाद दे आर लाइक व्हाटएवर मेक्स यू हैप्पी, कोई बंदा नहीं है वैसा है.
And then another friend of ours, Pritesh,
Hmm.
he spoke out that like my parents are absolutely not
He-
like they're like
Pritesh,
you cannot just like how like why
not cannot. It was like Pritesh is supposed to treat females in a way that they do not exist. That तू पहले सेटल होगा, सब कुछ होगा, then फिर हम किसी लड़की के माँ बाप को पटाएंगे, वो अपनी लड़की को पटाएंगे, and then you guys will get married and have kids. Simple factory version.
yeah but then I don't understand, he's 26, you are 26, this guy is 26, the difference of yeah is I can understand if like if Pritesh ka parents and my parents are different, because my parents are like तेरे को you want to bring a son-in-law, you want to bring a daughter-in-law, whatever the fuck you want to do, you want to marry a mushroom, do that. But it's with Pritesh it's so different, and it with me it's so different. I can understand that.
Like that.
But then
with
तुम
me at a
तीनों
point.
same age.
It was like that with me at a point. My parents had that outlook. And one fine day, I was like, see, if you stop me from doing it, I just will stop telling you. I'm still gonna go outside. I'm still gonna do stuff I want to do. I'm still gonna date people. I'm still gonna like people. And I've got enough time on my hands to do this. So,
Yeah.
you can either be okay with this, and I keep telling you how my love life is going, and otherwise I won't tell you what's happening, and you'll find out when I get married and when I'm telling मेरा जवानी का किस्सा किसी को. So that is how I broke it to them that this is going to happen whether you like it, you don't. So if you're okay with it, it's okay. And then after a point of time, one of my cousins got into a live-in relationship. Another cousin got a love marriage. People like
Recently
that.
a cousin of yours got married as well.
Yeah. So a lot of things like that happened, which led them to believe, okay, it isn't all that bad. So over the time, it changed.
Was it because of your cousins?
No.
No, I'm not saying that your cousins went ahead and convinced their parents. But is it because they saw it in the family? What if they saw it in your friend
That had
circles?
an impact. That had an impact.
What if they saw it in your friend circles? They would have been like, तेरे दोस्त करा.
Yeah, definitely.
बुरी
Most
संगत.
definitely.
मत रहा
So
कर
there's
सकते
more
हैं।
acceptance towards family
Then friends.
your
See,
actions.
but because again, family is something they haven't been given a choice about. That's about it. Neither you nor me nor anybody in this world gets a choice about family. You can call someone's friends bad because they had a choice. कि हाँ ये दोस्त मेरे को ये इंसान चाहिए kind of stuff. Again, nothing illegal. Yeah.
We don't have
so-
white Maruti van with us.
And this brings us down to
He's the Hinduja and his practicalities.
how much awareness do parents actually have about a child's social environment? Like when you're growing up,
This is what you said about friends. Like friends are a choice that we have, but sometimes I believe that it's not because I grew up like we were in the same school. We had a set number of students we could interact with. I honestly never liked anyone from my class, like or my entire school. I just like I don't want this.
I hate
This is
it.
like fucking having another batch of relatives.
relatives.
I like
Almost
इतने सारे
like-
किसने दिए क्यों मेरे को नीचे वापस करो like क्या I don't
I
want
want a
this
refund.
so that's a choice I did not have. So a bunch of my school friends who are like childhood friends, we can call them childhood friends, have been people I don't really like, and
I can relate.
yeah.
We
So
all can.
how is
See,
it?
I
This is something that your parents should also understand. It's not entirely a choice. You should be accepting towards all environments. Like your bacha is going to a school, but you've put him in a school where there's a limited number of people. Obviously, So
look now. What
Brahmania.
happens is everybody's parents wants them to interact with the smartest kid in class. Because
What will the
And the
smartest
smartest
kid in the class do?
He's doing steroids.
the smartest kid from my batch committed suicide.
Because of steroids.
Right, because of failed. You know him, bro.
I know. But yeah,
Not laughing at him. It's
the steroids.
okay. So
Talking about the environment, you were saying something. Stop laughing.
he's done. Okay. So the smartest kid in class. Forget that. I wasn't him. I can't talk for him. But
Your parents obviously wanted you to be
interacting with the one of the smarter ones in the top 10 में जो आते हैं इंसान उससे
Smart कौन जो academics में अच्छा है, or
Academics
either
में
excelling in some
No. Sportsmen are out of question. You did? Yeah.
Sports is nothing smart,
Sports
according
is-
to parents.
If you can't do education, then you can do sports.
कोटा में 5 मार्क एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा.
Shit, now that's a huge difference because my parents was like be with people who are excelling at whatever it might be.
See, that is again a difference of understanding.
Oh.
90% of the parents I have,
I just feel like I've had a liberal life.
you've had a very liberal life. See, so you're pursuing a very artistic career, bro. That is liberal in itself.
Yeah, but I had no clue like this is okay.
I had to stop learning guitar in 9th standard because मेरा 10th का एग्जाम एक साल बाद आने वाला है.
Yeah.
Fuck.
बाहर जाना बंद, अगले साल 10th है.
अगले साल अगले साल
हाँ.
I can die this year. Let me live.
11th का एग्जाम खत्म हो गया कि तुम लोग जो बाहर रहते थे नहीं घर पे बैठो.
बाहर
कल
जा
चलो
रही
हो
है.
चुका है.
I had to go to 7 o'clock morning French tuition जाना पड़ता था. घर पे आके मम्मी को कन्विंस करना पड़ता था कि मॉम मैं जा रहा है बाहर मेरे को दोस्तों के साथ पढ़ाई करना है.
Yeah.
Sorry mom. But yeah, so that happened. And this is what the outlook of most of the parents was in my school. कि Sports is something you do if you are dumb. Because तुम लोग को
Because steroids.
because steroids.
What have I done? But okay.
So again, understanding a child and the people around him, like I'll let go of the years during 5 to 15 because that's a very constrictive environment. School is going to take care of how those kids grow up to a certain extent. Outside of school, parents are going to control what kind of people you meet. But after 15, I think that it is important for parents to be involved to a certain extent with our friends.
True.
See,
I'm
because
trying to remember when were my parents not involved with my friends.
you have had a liberal life. That's what I'm telling you. He and me. I've met his father once.
Fuck, this is a butthole opener. But yeah,
I've met his father once. I have not met his mother yet. You have met my mother?
Once.
Once.
Twice. Once, I guess, at your place and the other
Other time.
at my shop, yeah.
And it is formal introductions only. My mother has no ideas what my friends do. She knows what my friends do, but she has never met any of them. Okay, so fortunately for me, I found the right people who are actually serious about life.
true. Yeah.
But some might not be that lucky.
Yeah, because then I have been like I was programmed by my mom to like bring friends home.
Yeah,
And then
that's a
now
good thing.
when I grew up, like post 15, I'm talking about like post 15. When I grew up, I made sure that I'm taking friends home when mom is home.
Yeah,
So that she can meet, because it felt like she likes meeting my friends and it felt great. So I would never be like यार घर पे कोई नहीं है चल. I was like यार घर पे कोई नहीं है क्या करेगा कि मम्मा को आने दे. So that's how
No,
I've
but,
always dealt with friends at home and bringing friends over.
Okay, you were living just with your parents when you were a kid. Me, on the other hand, joint family. 25 people, one floor, another floor, and मतलब
Yeah.
ऐसा है कि कभी कोई खाली नहीं था.
okay.
मतलब मेरे पेरेंट्स घर पे गए, मैं ऐसा सोचूं ना नाइट आउट के लिए दोस्तों के लिए, तो बाजू में दादी चाचा चाची सब लोग हैं, नहीं भुला सकता हूँ, नहीं पी सकता हूँ घर पे दारू वैसा
It's
वाला.
not
So no, just saying, मैं अभी का बात कर
That's
रहा हूँ.
the stereotypical thing कि night out माने दारू पी.
हाँ. So even if I like school time में I met with an accident and I was home for what say 4-5 months. I was
You were
on
told
bed rest, yeah. So तब जब friends आए थे मिलने को कि यार क्या हो गया and stuff करके.
Parents को ले क्या जानवर है?
नहीं.
Because they didn't know.
Parents were kind of fine with it. Mom was like, okay, चल ठीक है, friends आए हैं. But my दादी and चाची and like, कौन है, क्या है, क्यों आ गए? So वो grilling के वजह से after that point I was like, मैं घर पे नहीं लेके आ रहा हूँ, फालतू का मेरे लिए embarrassment हो जाएगा. I can make my chachi understand of who they are and okay. But my दादी, she is blind in one eye, उनको सुनाई नहीं था, अभी उनको मैं समझाने नहीं बैठ सकता, उन्होंने कुछ ये क्या पहन के आए हैं वैसा कुछ बोल दिया तो मेरे लिए तकलीफ वाला काम हो
इसको
जाएगा.
एक हाथ क्यों दादी आपका प्रॉब्लम है प्लीज. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember one like my mother had very few friends in her college years basically, and once she had come home, she said a new name, नया कोई बंदी मिली उसको तो वो नाम लिया, and she had a very invasive grandmother. Stop laughing. Okay, so and she would again grill with all those questions, कौन है, जात क्या है, and
हाँ पूछा जाता है.
पूछा जाता है.
अच्छा नहीं, but I think that's because my parents had a interreligion whatever.
नहीं, my mother doesn't ask me, but her grandmother did.
हाँ नहीं, that's right.
ठीक है. So my mother's grandmother was asking her all these questions, and finally my grandfather's gotten pissed. पास हो गया कितना like she's a kid, she's 17 years old, with who's hanging out with another kid who's 17 years old. उसको कितना पता रहने वाला है? You want her, get her home. क्या पूछना है डायरेक्टली वो इंसान को पूछो. Is what he basically wanted to say. What he said was कि कुछ नहीं. She is from the lowest caste possible. उसको गांधारी बनेगा ऐसा आशीर्वाद है. So the वसुधा की दोस्त को 99 छोटे भाई बहन है.
वो context बाद में
नहीं context मेरे को समझा. I'm just
And that is what my grandfather.
sorry, our intern is stupid, so she left her phone on, but it's okay. Yeah.
So that is what my grandfather said, because again there was a generation gap between him and his mother, which he could not explain to directly that this is how the world works now.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
जिसको ये समझा नहीं वो इसको पर्सनली पकड़ो और पूछ लो.
But okay, fuck.
Okay, so that is what my grandfather told me, that why I had to talk that way with my mother, because we never really connected. So if there are any parents watching this, the most important time when you can connect with your children is between the ages when they've hit puberty and after that, until they become 20, 21. By the time that they're okay, or they'll be very fine if they step out on their own. That is the time you can talk to them, get to know them better, because that is the time they're going to talk back to you or talk with you. Either way, it's good.
Yeah, parents, you are going through your own shit.
And if there's any
Teenagers are also
kids
going through
watching this who are 12, 13, 14, 15, your parents care for you, so what you got to do is you got to make sure that they know most of your friends. Bring them home, have a cup of tea, talk to your parents about what you do every day, even if it's fucking embarrassing. Yeah, probably some of your parents will beat the shit out of you. That's okay. We're Indians, we can take it. So, but that's that.
I just one thing I think after this I remembered a story where I remember how my dad played a part in me having a good network now, because he's a guy who has like a very strong network and knows a lot of people. And then I just remembered how he has actually trained me to do that, because bachpan mein, like I remember from first grade to the 7th grade or something like that, he used to be like, oh अच्छा ये कौन friend है तेरा, अच्छा इसके dad क्या करते हैं, like रात को सोते वक्त snore करते हैं, like नहीं professional, but that's what my friend told me, like मेरा बाप बहुत घूरता है रात को. Like that's what I know. But then I started to realize that if I know friends and if I know what they do, what their parents do, it's easier for me to make friends as well and to connect, and then to have my own bank of people who I can rely on. And
that works.
That is also important if you're like, just I think this is one message I'll also like to give: just don't rebel for the sake of rebelling.
Yeah, don't be rebels in this time.
Exactly.
Yeah, because parents
Because you'll learn something out of it.
are doing that for your own safety. Okay.
In conclusion, I'd like to say that generation gaps have always been there, and they'll probably stay there if neither of the parties changes. That it has to be closed down with both the parent and the children working together, and society as a whole. That if we look at relationships as taboo, we look at depression as taboo, it's not gonna change. Someone has to explain the other party, and we are doing our part in it as much as we can. If you're watching this, you have to start doing that.
And
If you need ideas, you
person,
can
the other person should be ready to listen to of what actually the person is saying. If you are just going to close your mind and sit there, then point नहीं बनता है.
That's great.
That's
Great.
it.
Two things I would like to say to you guys. Disclaimers about the upcoming podcast. So we have 2 podcasts coming up, which will be uploaded very, very soon. So our upload days are Sundays. We post them on Sunday, like it goes live on Sunday. The 2 podcasts coming up is from our previous venture that we had, and we have shot them back then. So the quality is going to be a little
Different.
We are going to be a little less confident, and so just
just
bear
with
with it.
But it's interesting topics.
Yeah, it's very
really,
interesting
really
topic.
interesting.
And because we are talking about the same things, it will be interlinked. Like you can also see 3 of us growing from what we were doing and now what we are doing, and how we talk and what we say and how composed we are. Secondly, just a context. I stay in Bombay. These 2 stay in Nasik, and a bunch of our friends stay in different parts of India and as well as the world. Like 2 of our friends who are going to come on the podcast next, they stay in New Zealand. We will be sorry.
I didn't knew that.
So we'll be doing something called the Skype cast as well. So basically, we'll get our friends on Skype or some, like, this is not sponsored by Skype. They're sponsored by BLVD though. But
BLVD.
we'll get them on Skype, we'll get them on video calls, we'll record those and we'll put them online. So just be aware of that. Like you'll you'll be like, "Ye kya format hai?" or something like that. But we're just telling you that this is something that's going to happen. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for.
Come visit
Thank
BLVD
you.
Sidewalk Cafe. I've come here 7 times for the
This is
Caesar
important.
salad.
This is important. The
Most
Caesar
fucking
fucking
beautiful
salad.
salads.
Oh my god, just so good. We came back. I mean, we don't go back for food that often.
Anywhere. We're lazy assholes.
Yeah. But this fucking chef, he makes the Caesar salad so well that the next day we were like, chahiye. It was like 8:30 p.m. and we were like, "Nee, we want that goddamn Caesar salad again." And then we came and we had it again. It's still
That's
we're
an
gonna have it
experience
now.
you'd like
So,
to have.
but
This is not a paid advertisement.
This is not a paid ad, though they have sponsored this episode, letting us shoot in the space, and
That's about it. But the Caesar salad is actually great. You should try it.